PC Matthew Lewis, a Cleveland police constable who we reported on in a report on the 27th of October over his alleged sexy time which took place in police vehicles whilst on duty and sexy time he partook in at work in the police station. Lewis was facing a misconduct hearing which has now been held. The now former PC Lewis was also found to have sent images of a woman without her consent to one of his colleagues, lied in his interview about the images, but unfortunately for the twant, the same identical images were found on his personal laptop and on the other constable's mobile phone who he had sent it to. And I thought police were supposed to have a high level of intelligence. It turns out that Lewis was dipping his pen in company ink as he engaged in sex acts with a colleague whilst on police premises and whilst on duty. However, the allegation that he had some fun in the police van were not found to be proven. Now, this obviously means it could have just not had enough evidence rather than the fact he didn't do it. Earlier in the week, Mark Leigh Morgan, representing Cleveland Police, told how then PC Lewis sent intimate images of Miss A without consent to PC B, the unnamed officer who he was also found to have engaged in sexual activity with. Now, I'm not sure I understand that bit. Both Woman A and PCB appear to have worked or at least had access to the police station, and Lewis appears to have had sexy time with Woman A, but is this saying that Lewis sent intimate pictures to PCB and he was having sexy time with PCB? I mean, what kind of twant sends intimate images of someone you're playing around with to someone else you're playing around with? It also doesn't state if PCB was male or female, so I guess if PCB was a fella and he and Lewis were bisexual, then I suppose the sending of an intimate image of a woman between the both would make more sense. I don't know. Mark Leigh Morgan added that lying in interview is unethical and denying sending the images was dishonest. With regards to engaging in sexual activity on police premises, Mr Morgan described PC Lewis's actions as quite astonishing sexual behaviour over a protracted period of time. Stephen Gowland, chairman of the misconduct, said, "This is not acceptable behaviour for any police officer whilst on duty and in police premises. We find he has breached discreditable conduct." Yeah, along with hundreds if not thousands of others. Although the panel didn't find the sexy time in the police van to be proven, the sexual activity within the police station took place over a sustained period of time which they should have realised was inappropriate. Inappropriate, as in not suitable or not proper in the circumstances. I'd say it was way more than inappropriate. Stephen Gowland, upon finding Lewis to have breached the standards of professional behaviour in respect of honesty, integrity and confidentiality and discreditable conduct, said that the former officer Lewis would have been dismissed had he still been a member of the police force. Detective Chief Inspector John Bonner said former police officer Matthew Lewis resigned from Cleveland Police during an investigation by the force's Directorate of Standards and Ethics Department following an allegation of misconduct. Despite his resignation and there being no criminal offences found, Cleveland Police continued to investigate him under police conduct regulations to ensure a thorough investigation. The panel's determination that Matthew Lewis would have been dismissed had he still been serving police officer ensures he will permanently be barred from any future employment in the police service. We understand that the public will be concerned by this behaviour from a police officer and would like to assure the public that this will not be tolerated and any officer or member of staff behaving in this manner will be held to account. Now, to be honest, I thought he would have been caught out pulling himself off in the police van when I heard initially about sexual acts in the police vehicle, knowing that all police are. I would have expected that to have been the act he was caught doing, but still. A copper who couldn't keep his truncheon in his pocket is certainly not what we want protecting our loved ones, and so I, for one, am glad that.
Another one bites the dust.